Now, a declaration of war on Christian militias in the Central African Republic. President Catherine Samba-Panza says she will fight the militias who are slaughtering Muslims. She says the militias are killing and pillaging, but will now be hunted down. Tens of thousands of Muslims have fled to Cameroon and Chad, and many more are living in camps inside the CAR. Deadly sectarian violence has plagued the African nation since clashes erupted between Muslim Seleka rebels and Christian militias last year. The presence of African Union and French forces in the country has failed to stop the violence. Joining us on the line from Manchester is Jahangir Mohammed, who is the director of Center for Muslims Affairs. Mr. Mohammed, welcome to the program. An archbishop in the Central African Republic has condemned the violence against the Muslims there. Will this declaration reach the ears of some of the militias involved in the violent attacks?
Well, I think the declaration, the comments are welcomed by the Archbishop, but what we really need is practical action on the ground. And the fact is that there are these militias, extremist Christian militias like the Ugandan Lord's Resistance Army, which is present there, which is supporting these massacres, and the hatred has basically now exposed itself, and it's difficult to reduce that, and it really needs some kind of military power in there to stop people killing each other. And we have the French troops there, we have the African Union, but they seem unable to stop this violence for some reason. And there's even some suggestion that some of the troops are standing by and watching. And we know that this has happened elsewhere with UN troops in Bosnia, when they just sat aside and let the Christian Serbs massacre the Muslims in Srebrenica and other places, the Dutch troops in particular. So really, it's quite worrying. The French seem to be able to go into Mali and other places and overturn regimes, yet they don't seem able to stop militias killing innocent civilians and people. So one has to ask where the loyalties of some of these troops lie. And really the neighboring Muslim countries need to be involved and need to take some action to prevent the ethnic cleansing, the religious cleansing of Muslims, and the genocide which is taking place against the Muslim community there now.
Sure. Now, that's just along the lines of what I wanted to ask you next, which you just addressed. Now, if the violence is increasing on a daily basis, that just raises a lot of questions about the role and presence of the French and African Union troops, doesn't it?
Well, of course it does. And, you know, the French have been involved in the Central African Republic as the colonial masters there, and obviously after they left the so-called independence, they've still been involved there, and they have their own interests. Most of those are to do with the mineral wealth that exists in the Central African Republic, and it leads me to think that maybe they have an interest in maintaining the Christian government there and bringing back Bozize. The Christians have always been in power in that country, and even though somebody with a Muslim name became president, there seems to be some antagonism towards that, and really one wonders whether the link between colonialism and the spread of Christianity in Africa in a way is helping to maintain that. You know, the Africans used to say that when the colonialists came to Africa, they sent in the missionaries first, and the missionaries went in and said, to see God, you have to close your eyes. And whilst the Africans closed their eyes, the European colonialists stole their wealth. So there's an intimate link between Christianity in Africa, colonization, and the looting of wealth.
Okay.
And that seems to still be there.
Thank you very much, Director of Center for Muslims Affairs, Mr. Jahangir Mohammed, speaking to us on the line from Manchester.